It's an honor. It's an honor to receive the prize. That there's a recognition of what we have done over the years, many years. But I have to say that a lot of this should be attributed to the team, because it's the team that make things happen. I've always loved science since I was a kid. I have my little microscopes when I was a child, and my mom gave me some money. I remember I bought one. I was so fascinating. I still have the photographs of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Share those photographs.
Oh well, we'll find a way. And during the time, uh, I looked into a lot of things. They're so fascinating, right? There's so many things. They're so complex. If you look at what we are today, and we are like a huge, wonderfully made machine with everything inside a cell.
Mhm.
And I love looking at cells and try to understand how it works. And when the cells go funny or they don't behave, that's when cancer begin to happen, essentially, right? So by understanding how cells work, all the parts inside the cells that come together, we begin to see what health is like and what disease is like. So cancer research is essentially cell biology, and the cell disobeying the programs that they have. And I love it.
So in your first microscope, what could you see?
Oh, I look into fish. You look at a fish fin at the back, all right? You wrap up the fish so it don't die, and you look at the blood flowing through it. It's wonderful. And then, of course, you take a drop of your own blood, and you can see the white blood cells, and it's fascinating to look at even chloroplast, stomata of a leaf, right? How they breathe. So it is a different world. It's a microscopic world that it's not like what we see everywhere, but it's something hidden, and there's so much more we don't understand. Oh, everything excites me about my work. I don't look at work. I don't work because I do what I love to do. So I don't see myself working. I have to admit one thing I don't like. At least maybe I'll offend a lot of people. I look at work as filling in forms, and I tell everyone, please don't ask me to fill forms. That one I don't like to do. That is work, real work. Discovering science and doing the thing, that is just fun. And day and night, I'll just mull over it. It's just like you see something fascinating, you have a hobby, you never stop thinking about it, and it's like that.
Every day is like living your passion, I guess.
Oh yeah, sometimes I can't solve something. I know very well my brain is working,
So
and I go to sleep, and then middle of the night or early in the morning, hey, it's very obvious. Things like this. On the entrepreneur bit, I have to admit we are accidental entrepreneur. We don't set up to start a company. We never believe that we have come this far. We can come this far. Because when we started off, the company Miraxis, it was purely out of starting off with curiosity. We were curious how microRNA worked. It was many years ago. At that time, a lot of things were not known. And I remember some of our collaborators did ask me, he says, is this real? Because it's so small. And I remember even I myself begin to ask myself and say, yeah, what if it is not real and I spend millions of dollars? um, yes, at that time, everything started with curiosity. We were curious. What is this little thing? And then we found out. And from then, we realized they were unmet needs. We took blood and we found, oh, a lot of the signature, they can tell you whether you have early stage cancer. At the time, a lot of things were not known. It was surprising. A lot of debate at that time. Then gradually from curiosity, turned into addressing unmet need. Then we realized that we need to make it useful for people. You have to make it. You have to produce it so that people can use it. So then we started manufacturing. We have a big manufacturing facility, both in China and Singapore. Then after we have done that, we realized you need to deploy it. So we have got a clinical lab that could help to translate the discovery all the way down to using it for patients. We are still growing. We have even gone upstream. And soon you will hear we will have things like biobanking as well. So we have the whole value chain simply because Lee Hsien Loong asked us a question when he met us. He says, great, this wonderful, you can do all these things. How much? We want to make it affordable. The only way you can make it affordable is you do everything by yourself. You produce it, you deploy it, then you can keep the cost low. That's what we're doing. My most surprising initially was we took some serum and we got the assay for the microRNA many years ago. And then we left it on a table for more than a week. We opened it up, you could smell it's rancid, it's fermented. Then we looked for microRNA and we detected it. I was like, what? Because in the early days, Roche funded my lab to look at dengue and all those things and design assays. If you have RNA inside blood, it would disappear within 15 minutes. And that was very surprising. It was like, how does it work? At the time, long time ago, we didn't know microRNA was inside vesicles. Today we do, right? So that was when, there were many moments, that was one of them. And another one was when we have the cells, cancer cells, we treat them with different drugs. And we found what is being dumped out into the medium, they're different. Like different drugs do different things. You can see signatures. Till today, I don't know what it means. We have seen another case where there are more microRNA in your tears than in your blood. What does it mean? Come back in 20 years' time, I'll tell you. So there are many, many moments. Oh, setbacks. Lots of setbacks. I don't even know where to start.
Anyone in particular that you still think of?
Okay, every time when you do something new, you would definitely have a lot of disappointments. Most of the time, I always tell everyone, most of my experiments don't work. It's not because of incompetence, no, but simply because you're discovering new things. You're looking at what nature does. So you go through, you navigate, and it's not here, it's not this, it's not... All the brilliant ideas you have, you're drinking coffee, you thought it was this, you do the experiment, it doesn't work. What does it tell you is that you haven't discovered the road yet. So there are lots and lots of moments of disappointments, of setbacks, where you thought this will work and it didn't. Like Edison said once, I didn't fail 99 times. I found what not to do for 99 times. And it's exactly that.
Okay, so really it's just pushing yourself on.
You have to progress. Well, some may know, some may not know. I'm a black belt karate, and I do a lot of karate at home and in NUS. Here we have classes. We do fighting. We fight, and I've got my lips split a few times, blood everywhere. Yeah, it's quite fun. Yeah. Yeah, we don't use karate to fight, but in the event we need to defend, yeah, we can. But it's not so much karate to use it for fighting. It's more of discipline, knowing yourself, what you don't know. There's so many things I don't know in the world, in science, and every morning I tell myself, since I was a kid, I want to learn something new. Karate is one of them. You always learn about how to do certain things in a certain way.
Also, do you start learning karate recently?
Well, it's more than a decade now.
Oh, okay, so-
I practiced Chinese martial arts before. Then I switched to karate. It was very painful because it's like the movements are totally different. But today I just settled with one. So that is one thing I do. I'm a scuba diver. Of course, COVID time, no scuba diving at all. I love to go underwater to have a look at Nemo, look at the fish.
Where do you go diving? Around the Southeast Asia?
I've been around here. I got my license from Boston. Back in Harvard, I got my license.
Wow.
But that site is terrible. You have to suit up and you go underwater and you don't see a lot of things. Very cold. Yeah, you don't see a lot of things. Here is wonderful. So I've dived around this whole area, Manado, deep sea diving. This is nice. Then some people may not know, I love to play Xbox.
Any games in particular?
Okay. Here may be a surprise. I prefer games that don't need thinking. Strategy game, I don't like.
Shooting then?
Yeah, I just see the guy. It's a test of like, can I trap the guy? Simple things, I'm very simple minded. That's what I do.
That's-
You can read everywhere about how to be a scientist. I think what is very important is grit, Grit, grit. Don't give up, get on with it. Now I'm going to say something very perhaps politically incorrect here. There's a silly thing called work smart, don't work hard. You should see my students back in Harvard. They work hard and they're very smart. Now you compete against them. So don't believe that myth. All of you are smart. By the time you get to this point, you're smart. If you don't work hard, most of the experiments fail, like I said, right? You don't have grit. Then you will not advance. So my advice to all young ones is, be careful. A lot of disinformation. Work hard because you are smart already.
Okay, thank you for your advice, Prof.